What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. I'm Chase and he's Sky, and today we're reacting to Goblin Slayer openings and endings.
And by the way, we're still pretty new to anime, so if you have any anime recommendations, please leave them down in the comments down below. Be like, Chase&Sky, react to this. Well, be like, okay, we got you. Just gotta stay patient. Also, 95% of you are not subscribed. Subscribe! It's free!
Alright, let's jump right into this first one of Goblin Slayer.
Play it, Chase. So I'm expecting like a lot of violence because it's Goblin Slayer, bro.
Yeah, it has Slayer right in the title.
Oh, those big swords? What is that? 2 moons? Very slow start. The art style is hidden already.
Oh, dice.
D&D?
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay. Like a little goblin.
Look at all those little dudes. They look so funny.
Okay. This just remind me of like a lot of like Overlord. Like the color wise.
Yep. Just like, I had like the same glowing eyes, Overlord.
The red eye?
Yeah.
Looks like we have a bunch of different species too. 5 different characters? Okay, that was not what I was expecting from the title. I thought it was just gonna be like straight violence the whole time. And it was just like very peaceful.
Yeah, the song was pretty peaceful too.
Vocalized
that
wise.
slower, yeah, that slower song.
Until the goblins appeared and they started slaying them. Which,
yeah.
I'm kind of confused about why it's called Goblin Slayer. Like, aren't they like the weakest like creatures like in like any fantasy type of world? I feel like they're just like so weak that like no one really worries about them, you know? It's like in Clash of Clans, you just have to throw a character out there, so you just throw a little goblin.
True.
In the beginning, it started off with the knight and a girl, which looks like a sister, like a priest type of character. And then they travel around this like world, right? And they got like 3 more members of their like maybe a clan or a guild that they're forming to go against these goblins because I don't know why. So what if it's D&D, right? Because we saw a bunch of D&D references. And it looks like a D&D type of world. This anime is about a group of friends that create this D&D world. And this is all the characters that they created. And now they're playing in the perspective of their board game characters.
That'd be so cool.
I'm just saying,
does it become real life then? Or do they transport it into the characters?
Wait! What if it's like Jumanji, bro? Oh my god!
That would be crazy.
Bro! And
Jumanji D&D?
like, bro, like the stuff you created on the game, in that board game, if you play this board game, everything just comes to life. So like the characters you created, you literally transform into them. And you have their powers and mana and all that.
That'd be so cool, but like so scary at the same time.
So Chase, so we see these 5 characters, right? So what if they're on a quest to defeat like the dungeon master, which could be their friend that created this game? To stop them from getting to him, he throws a bunch of like weak goblins at them. And the reason why he's throwing like weak goblins at them is that he could just send them over and over and over, basically like torturing them slowly to get tired and then maybe possibly kill them. Because of
how would you have time to like sleep and stuff?
Because it's just like maybe you can just one shot them, but like how long can you keep on one shotting them for? You know? So like what if like the dungeon master's like kind of messed up and he's like betraying them and he just wants to like torture them like that? And if like, especially if this becomes like a real life like Jumanji type of thing, imagine like all the possibilities that they could do. Like that, like the world, like you have the D&D world, right? But then you also have the real world, which would be like even crazier. So like, would the dungeon master, like other people in the real world, be affected by all these powers and all this like this board game? The dungeon master, right? He got so much power, or he felt so much power for making this game. So what if he like made a way manipulates them to play and doesn't like they don't know like the contract of the game or anything. They just think it's like a real like a just a normal war game. But then like he's the dungeon master is like really like power hungry, so he like does like a certain thing, maybe magic or something like Jumanji. Off this one board game, he gains like all the power in the world that he can have. Like he feels like he's God. Imagine the 5 characters going through those obstacles to stop their friend because he's power hungry. Like how can you defeat a god?
I don't know if you can, honestly. I'm pretty sure like the dungeon master is like the god. Like I don't think you can beat him.
And like another thing too, like what if like you create your own character, right? And the dungeon master like nerfs your character, so that like you literally can't do anything. Like he deletes all your mana, all of that, all your magic, everything. That'd be insane. And that's why sending a bunch of goblins at them because they're running away from them.
I mean, or they just spawned in.
True.
And goblins are already there, and you have to like fight them like right off the bat.
Maybe that's like a thing where like different like creatures or species, these sins have like a cooldown time, but these goblins have no like they have like the less cooldown time in the whole game. So he keeps on sending them and sending them and sending them over and over and over to torture them. Do you know how scary that'd be? Like a little goblin chasing you, bro. I'd be like. Also, another thing, right, Chase? What if this isn't like D&D or anything like that? What if it's kind of like SAO in a way, where you get transported into the game, and the easiest way to get XP is from killing these goblins? Maybe it's like maybe the main character is like the knight dude, the main character. What if he's like a noob killer or something like that? So he just goes after noobs in like low level places to just bully them.
I mean, that'd also be a pretty safe way to just keep getting XP over and over.
And he also looked like a menace because of that red eye. He kind of looks like a villain almost.
So do you think he's actually just overpowered, but he just keeps going to the goblins over and over anyways?
Yeah. Like,
so they just like, what if they just run from him?
Like, what if
they're like scared of him?
Like, what if this is like a game, like an online game that anybody like can play, but they get transported to, right? They have to fight against this noob killer that just bullies noobs.
Dang, bro.
That kind of be, I don't know. From off of the character design, he looks like he's evil a little bit, and it looks like he has a healer, right? Maybe she's like just healing him over and over. Like if there's like a stronger opponent, he can just get healed because there's 2 of them against 1 person. So I wonder what his goal is. You know what I'm saying? Like.
One thing about goblins that you kind of talked about, like you said Clash of Clans, right?
Yeah.
How they're in Clash of Clans. I'm pretty sure goblins always go after gold.
Gold?
So what if like these goblins also go after like gold and stuff from villages? So they have it like a stockpile, and this guy and his team wants to like raid these goblin places to like get all the treasure.
Do you think they just want the treasure, or do you think they'll give it back like a hero?
I mean, he looked kind of evil, man. I feel like he just wants to take the treasure for himself.
Bro, he's the type of guy to take the treasure back and destroy the village. So it looks like this world, like we barely got to know anything about it. It looks like we have like a bunch of like gigantic creatures with them because like in the beginning they're like sitting on swords, like it was like a giant holding them, right? I wonder if like there's so many creatures, species, and all that we have not seen yet that become like a part, like they become a part of that clan or quest or guild, you know what I'm saying? I want to see like the type of like villains that we can see in this, or like rivals, because I feel like the fights in this could be insanely hard. Another thing I've noticed at the end, or no, it wasn't the beginning. I think it was the beginning where we saw like 2 moons. One was red and one was green. What does that indicate? I wouldn't like mind it if they just like saw it for a second, but like they kind of focused in on it.
Maybe that just shows this really is a fantasy world. Like it's not really Jumanji that came to our world. It's more so like they either got like sucked in, or it's just a completely different world probably. Yeah.
So like I'm not sure like about what the 2 moons could be, but another thing I noticed at the end, right, is that the main character has a shield. It has 5 different spots on the shield, like 5 different circles, and there's 5 different members of that crew that he's with. So what if that's like his main job is to protect his friends and like the guild he's with, because each circle is his friend he has to protect.
So when it comes to the 2 moons, right, there's this one that's like way bigger and it's green. Maybe they like fluctuate in size or distance, so that when the green one's bigger, like the goblins get way stronger and more aggressive, and that's why you need specific teams to slay goblins, like goblin slayers, on those certain days or like days of the month where the moon's big and they get like really dangerous. So you like need these people to go kill them.
So what happens if the moon's red?
Maybe a different monster gets stronger, or maybe all monsters get weaker.
Wait,
for a period.
What if it's like a balance thing where what you're saying about the green moon is that when the goblins get stronger, but what if the red moon means that he gets stronger because he has the red eye?
That'd be pretty cool.
So like they're like pretty much rivals at this point.
So Sky, one thing about the dice, like it can mean that maybe there really is actually dice, and like the lower you roll, the worse the outcome is. So right here shows the two dice.
Yeah.
They both look sad, and they rolled a 1 and a 2, which isn't very good, right? And right here, this is showing them running away because obviously something didn't go as to plan. Like something went bad because of that. But like when they get backed into a corner and they have to start fighting, they start rolling 4s, which is a lot better. And maybe that means they actually start winning again and doing better. Because like look right here, like look how significant the dice seems to be. Like I guess this could just be a reference to D&D, but I feel like maybe there is actually a dungeon master like rolling stuff for them.
Because that'd be pretty interesting, you know? Personally, I don't think, like, what we've seen so far, I don't think we've seen, like, any anime have, like that type of story of, like, a dungeon master controlling the game. Or controlling, like, the pace of the anime or anything like that. So I think that'd be a pretty interesting, like, plot twist, or, like, to have someone control and, like, see, like, these, like, underdogs, basically, accomplish a goal to defeat this god of a dungeon master. Because, like, you're literally facing the strongest person ever, and you're starting off with, like, nothing because you're getting nerfed and getting screwed over by the Dungeon Master because he's rolling for you. Like, so Chase. So it looks like we're seeing from, like, the knight's perspective of himself, right? So what if this is, like, him, like, being really depressed and him, like, having all the responsibilities on his shoulder that he feels like because what if he's, like, what if he's, like, the friend that brought everybody into this game, like Jumanji, and it's just screwing everybody's lives over because they're getting hurt, injured, all of that. So now he's like trying to go by himself to complete this game so his friends don't get hurt anymore. But there's another thing, right? So what if this is him looking at himself, like this is like his view of himself, right? What if he doesn't see himself as like a human anymore because he's just slaying these goblins? So he's just known as a goblin slayer, not even a human.
I mean, that's gotta mess with you, right? Even if it's just goblins you're slaying, like you're still killing like a bunch of stuff. That's gotta mess with your mind.
And that the X right here too looks like his eye too.
You know what the X could be?
What?
It could be like sword slashes, and the red is like blood of his enemies, like when he cuts them.
True. And also matches his shield.
So maybe when like he's like, I don't know, not really like a murderous rampage, but when he's like serious and he's gonna slay goblins, maybe like the red eye is to show like that's the kind of mood he's in.
I wonder if like we'll ever see like a character development from him that his eye like turns blue because he like maybe he gets his like humanity back by the end of like the series or something, or brings life back to him. He doesn't have to keep on killing goblins over and over. Goblin Slayer ending 1. Play it, Chase.
Okay.
These have been starting out so slow.
Shows the moons again.
Whoa. Wait, is that like...
He's like walking through a graveyard.
It's like 5 different versions of himself too. Like we're looking through his mask right now.
Oh, I think you're right. That was the red moon, and now it's glowing like his eye.
But listen.
I think they are connected.
Wait. 1, 2, 3. Wait, there's 5. There's 5 different slots on his helmet, right? Where's his team at? He's walking by himself. Where's his team?
Yeah, there is enough slots for all of them, huh? Maybe he is trying to finish the game by himself, like you said.
His shadow looks like blood, bro.
It does.
I really like the art in the animation so far. We're not seeing any goblins though, which is surprising. Maybe it's more than just goblins.
It looks like he slayed them all. Like, look at the swords.
A glowing light. Huh. This opening and ending, I'm just speechless. Like, there's not, like, it's not what I expected at all from both of them. Like, they're very slow starts. Like, I feel like it's like a peaceful kind of song. And, like, this, like, violent anime.
I don't know, it's kind of sad, almost.
It is. And a thing that I noticed in the beginning, like I was saying, that we're looking through his mask, right? Or his helmet. There's 5 different slots, which means he had 5 different people on his party. but now they're all gone. Now he's by himself. It looks like he's accomplishing this goal by himself, or whatever mission he's on, right? So what if this ending's like very depressing is because his whole party died, and that's why we see like a bunch of like graves and everything, because he went on a rampage and killed everything in sight.
Do you think he's the one that also killed them?
Like killed his party?
Like, we did say he's kind of going crazy with murdering so much stuff. Like he could have went crazy and like murdered everybody. Because who knows how he acts when he has the glowing eye? Like he looks crazy.
I wonder if like anybody knows what he looks like under the mask or helmet.
I don't know. They didn't show it at all, huh? Imagine he takes his mask off and he's just a goblin. So he's the Goblin Slayer?
Bro, that's kind of...
He's the Goblin Slayer. He's a goblin. They never showed his face.
That'd be wild. That would
Maybe
be
it's
wild.
a revenge story on his own kind. Maybe he got betrayed and he had to like run away from like his goblin village. And he swore revenge and he trained up.
There's no way that a goblin can be that tall, right?
I don't know, bro.
I mean, he looks buff too, bro.
There's magic and stuff. It's a fantasy world.
I mean, you're right. Anything can happen. What if like the dungeon master, right, we've been saying, sent all those goblins to distract him to kidnap his friends. Now he has to go and retrieve his friends. And that's why he's going on a rampage right here. Because he has nothing else to lose, so he's just going to go full out and accomplish this goal of his to defeat the dungeon master.
You could also look at it the other way though, where he's trying to like run from his problems or his past, but everywhere he looks, it's just death and destruction. Like that's all he's known.
Like he can't live like a normal life.
Yeah, he can't live a normal life. Like all he sees is like just graves and like long past battlefields, and he just can't like rest in peace anymore.
Mm-hmm. Man, bro? That would suck, bro. How could it? I can never like imagine living like that, bro. Like you literally lose all like your sanity, and maybe like his friends too, or this party was like kind of keep him like sane because he actually had someone to talk to about his problems, and like they're helping him through like this tough time of his, and now they're just gone, so he has no one to talk to, and like it's just getting worse and worse. So you know how we were talking about like there's 5 different slots on this mask right here, and also flickered to 5 different versions of himself. So like what if like these versions of himself is what the party members saw of him? Like each party member saw him differently than the other. Like maybe some of them thought he was like a villain. Some of them maybe thought he was a hero, a friend, a nemesis. Like the possibilities are endless right here. Maybe he's hearing about all of this, right? He doesn't even know who he is anymore either, because he's hearing like all these people like judging him, and like he just can't take it. So he's just like going insane. He's like, what like, what do you think of me? Or what, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I feel like he's just lost on where he's going, especially like after this war or what he's been through. Another thing could be that 5 versions of himself, right? 5 different versions of himself is 5 different failures. Maybe he failed every single time to save his friend or party member.
That's pretty.
And that's why he has a bunch of like guilt in this ending. His shield, right? It showed at the end of the opening. It showed his party member on the shield. But during this ending, we don't see the party members at all. Most likely, something did happen to his whole party.
So Sky.
Yeah.
Right here, where it shows like version of himself right here.
Mm-hmm.
What if that's the version everybody sees, right?
Yeah.
But this almost like a double personality, maybe, where it looks like he's almost in a cage right here, like wanting to always be let loose. Like maybe he has like actual double personality with different sides, where one always wants to rampage and kill, but this other one's trying to like run from that side of himself.
Dang, bro, that's like another like obstacle, bro. Like he can never catch a break. Our theories are just so dark sometimes, bro. Holy. And it's weird too that like it's just him in this whole ending. Like we saw a couple more characters in the opening, right? Maybe a couple of villagers or something like that, or creatures. It's kind of weird to see that there's nothing here either. Maybe this was like his town that he was protecting, or like his guild that he was a part of, and they're all just laid out. He's like definitely by himself now. Like there's nowhere to go.
Maybe this could be his backstory. Like maybe he was out on a mission by himself, and while he was gone, his whole town got raided by goblins, like a bunch of goblins, and that's why he wants to slay goblins to like get revenge for his town.
That'd be pretty interesting, not gonna lie.
And maybe that's what the red light, so it's like in the same spot as the red moon, right?
Yeah.
Maybe when he came back to his town, it looked like this, where there's all the destruction and then the red moon in the sky, and it like burnt the image into his mind of the red moon.
True.
So every time he gets revenge on goblins for his town, he always remembers that red moon, and it like burns in his eye because it's like burnt into his brain, like all the pain he went through.
like would also keep him motivated to get revenge.
All right, and there we have it. That was Goblin Slayer openings and endings. If you enjoyed it, please leave a comment down below for more suggestions and like and subscribe.
Subscribe as always. See you tomorrow.